The church has to get back to God's standard for the family. That's it. We don't negotiate with our children. This is the standard of the house. Daddy's living it, mama's living it, you gonna live it. It grieves me every time I see young boys with their pants below their butt. That bothers me. It bothers me that you can't walk without trying to hold your pants up. It bothers me that you don't understand that you're worth so much more than that. Culture is consuming our sons, and adults say, it's okay, let them do their thing. It's not okay. And as long as we're feeding them, they don't have the right to say, I'm going to do my thing. Not in this house, you don't. There were things in our home that our children knew, don't even try it, because my husband set the standard for the house. So our son knew how to treat a woman because of the example that he saw in his dad. You can settle for whatever you want to settle for, and you'll always reap the consequences. We don't have to settle. And we have to raise daughters who put pressure on these guys to say, okay, I'm not coming down to your level. There's a standard that I live by. The bar is high. You have to come up. We have to have daughters who understand I don't have to pull my panties off. My panties stay up, and you come all the way up to the standard. We can't be ashamed to say the hard things. We can't be afraid of what people are going to say, what they're going to do. They're going to leave the church. They're not going to give. That's okay. We have to be found obeying God. It doesn't matter if the parishioners don't like it.
That's right.
What matters is, did we please God?
What's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to Man Cave. My name is Chris. I hope you watched the video. If I have another opportunity, take a stand. All right? Like on my growing up, I already made up my mind. None of my children is going to make their hairs like girls. In my home, my boys are not going to wear the things that pertain to the girls, to their sisters. And their sisters are not going to go after things that pertain to the brothers. Even up to the making of the hair. I'm not going to let my boy be making his hair like a girl. That decision is final. All right? So these are just examples of some of the things so that my son begins to know his masculinity. From me, he learns his masculinity. I'll try to make sure that, because I become the mirror of, I am the mirror of what he wants to become. I have the confidence of, I am the example of the confidence he needs to have. He's supposed to have. I become the first thing. I'm the one he is studying as man. I'm the example of man. And I am the example of the man I want to see in my child, so I need to do right. If I want my child to become a better version of me, I need to do right. Because he's going to take that version that is outside to compare with what is going on outside. Of course, there'll be confusion, but when he brings it home, because I am the example that he sees first, I have the opportunity to explain to my son and say, listen, boy, there's a lot of confusion outside. You know me first before you know those guys outside, and I cannot lead you astray. This is what's going on. Do not go after the pop culture, because a lot of people that back up the pop culture do that with some undertones, some interest, personal interest, selfish interest. So you cannot use that as yardstick for your way of life, for your standard, for your belief. That is why it's important for every man to know their roots, to know their beliefs, to know their ways. It helps you to put yourself together. If it happens that you do not know your parents, your upbringing, or you went through the foster, it's okay. But you need to begin to put yourself together as soon as you begin to identify yourself and the things that you agree and do not agree. As a man, we cannot allow the environment's influence to weigh more on our family more than the internal influence that comes from us as parents. When these arguments go out, we should also make sure that from within, we are able to tell our children the truth. So you are the lead as a man. Do not negotiate with your children. They're going to come. I know homes that there are a lot of heated debates that the parents cannot talk about because they allow the negative influence to override their opinion based on certain issues. They probably didn't nip the issues in the bud when it was still young. You need to develop a bigger and bolder influence that will push back and the negative influence coming in from the outside. They know school bus bus drivers. They know, they gotta know that you are available.